गोविंदाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। हरि ओम। Today we will start from the first verse. We will sing Ekmeva Dvitiyam hi Brahma, Ekmeva Dvitiyam hi Brahma, Nirgunam Nishchalam Nirvikaram, Nirgunam Nishchalam Nirvikaram, Ekmeva Dvitiyam hi Brahma, Ekmeva Dvitiyam hi Brahma. Atra Vedantameva Pramanam Bodhakasya Gurustatvanishtaha Ishvaranugruhitena Vedyam Ishvaranugruhitena Vedyam Ekmeva Dvitiyam hi Brahma, Ekmeva Dvitiyam hi Brahma. Jnanagamyam turiyam rudhistham, Jnanagamyam turiyam rudhistham, Atmarupam hitatyena jnatam, Atmarupam hitatyena jnatam, Sodhvana paramapnoti satyam, Sodhvana paramapnoti satyam, Ekmeva Dvitiyam hi Brahma, Ekmeva Dvitiyam hi Brahma, Nirgunam Nishchalam Nirvikaram, Ekmeva Dvitiyam hi Brahma. The name of this book is Bodhasar, and truly it is the essence of entire Vedanta. In our Vedanta scriptures, one Vedanta Sar is very famous. Then there is Upadesh Sar is there, which is written by Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. Then Pujya Guruji has written one more text like this only, that is called Jnana Sar, where 18 verses are there. So in all these books, essence has been given. Otherwise, there are very, very thick books are there. Very voluminous. But Pujya Guruji, he contemplated upon all these textbooks and brought out essence for all of us. In this book we find that first of all the nature of Brahman has been given. Then second point is what are the means by which we can realize that Brahman. So Vedantameva Pramanam. And then who reveals those books or the Vedanta which is given in that Upanishad. So Guru or the teacher is the one who gives the hidden meaning, indirect meaning, implied meaning, which by our own mind we cannot understand. So Guru is required. Then he says, God's grace is the factor, is the main thing by which we get a good teacher, and by His grace only we can understand this subtle topic. So if Shravan is happening, it is because of His grace. If I am able to comprehend and understand, that is also by His grace only. Ishvaranugrihitena vedya. Then he says that jnanagamyam turiyam. This Brahman is known by knowledge, jnana. That's why it is said, Vedantartha vicharena jayate jnanam uttamam. Tena atyantika samsara nasha bhavati amu. In Vivek Chudamani, Shankaracharya says, Vedantartha vicharena, by the study of Vedanta, jayate jnanam uttamam. The supreme knowledge, is risen in our bosom, risen in our mind. Same thing has been said by Guruji in this verse, Jnanagamyam. When we do Sravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, when we listen with full attention, then with peaceful mind, silent mind, when we contemplate, and then we meditate, then we understand, yes, my true nature is Brahman. I am not assemblage of these 5 elements only. I am not mind, I am not pranas. Mano, buddhi, hankara, chittani, naham. I negate all these conditionings. So this is jnanam, jnanagamya. A thought of knowledge. Brahmakara vritti is born. I always give an example. A student enters into medical college, and when he completes all his education, study, when he get degree, then what is the thought which comes in his mind? Now he says, I am doctor. So that thought of doctor, that is risen in his mind. When he undergoes all the studies, so doctorakar vritti is born. Aham doctorah, aham engineerah. Same way, when the student attends many Vedantic classes, then reflect upon all those thoughts which he has heard, then slowly he understands that my true identity is something different. Till now what I was understanding, what I was thinking about myself was false identity. It was wrong. So this is called Jnanagamya. And where this knowledge takes place? Rudhistham. Within only, within your heart. That's why all our scripture says, first you meditate in your heart. Don't meditate outside. Open-eyed meditation. That is not possible in the beginning. In the beginning, you have to close your eyes and see yourself, who you are. Once you are established in that truth, then yes, then there is no need to no need to close your eyes and sit at one place. Then, as Guruji said in the next verse, yatra yatra mano yati tatra tatra samadhaya. Wherever his mind goes, he is always in samadhi. He never forgets his true nature. But at initial stage, Rudhistham, in the heart we must concentrate. But it doesn't mean that it is present only in the heart. Yesterday I already told you. But it is Upalabdhi Sthan. I can appreciate its presence in the heart. Therefore, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, in his very famous book, Sat Darshan, in the very first verse he says, Sat pratyaya kim nu vihaya santam ruddesha chinta rahito rudhakhya. He said that Sat is everywhere, existence is everywhere, consciousness is everywhere. But Rudhi, in the heart, you must see in the heart. You go within, you go inward, and you will see it is present in the heart. And it is free from thoughts. Rudhi esha chinta rahita. It is free from thought. And Rudhakhya, there is this Atma or Sat is called as Rit. Why? Because it is experienced here, in the heart. So, Ruddesha Chinta Rahito Rudhakhya. So, here also, Pujya Guruji says, Rudhi Akhya. Pura Prerak Raghuvansa Vibhusha. Tulsidas ji says, Ramji is sitting in the heart and he is encouraging me. He is telling me you should do this, you should not do this. Like Hanumanji also opened his chest and he said, Ramji and Sita ji, they are here only. Pranava Upavan Kumar Khalavala Pavaka Jhana Basai Hridaya Aga. So this tattva, this reality or truth is not very far from us. Rudhistham and Turiyam. Now, what is the meaning of Turiyam? Pujya Guruji says, this Atma Tattvam is Turiyam. Actually, literal meaning of Turiya is fourth. Atma is fourth. Now, when it is said fourth, there must be 1, 2, 3 before this fourth. So, yes, all of us, we experience 3 states: waking, dream and deep sleep. 3 states of experience. When I am in waking state, I am called as waker. When I experience dream state, I am dreamer. When I am sleeping, then there is sleeper. But interesting point is, one entity only has become waker, dreamer and sleeper. That entity as though has got garb, some dress is there, some costume is there. Like how an actor, he puts on different costumes and appears in different form. So waker, dreamer and sleeper. Actually they are not 3 different entities. One Atma Tattva appears as waker, dreamer or sleeper. So in relation with this, Atman is called as fourth. It is considered as fourth, but it is not actually fourth. Maya Sankhya Turiyam. It is for the sake of understanding this Atman is called as fourth. Meaning, Atman is not waker, not dreamer, not sleeper, but it is free from all three states. That's why it is four. Don't think that these four, the three separate independent entities are there. Waker is different from sleeper, sleeper is different from dreamer, and then Atma is different from all these three. Like, you know, an actor, in one movie he is acting as hero. Other movie he is playing a role of comedian. In the third movie he is playing a role of villain. Now when he is not acting in those movies, then do you say that he is the fourth one? He is the one who is playing these three roles. But he was neither hero nor villain, he was an actor only. Same way, Atma is fourth in the sense that Atma becomes these three, but he himself is different from that. Because of identification with different states and different conditionings, he is called as waker, dreamer and all that. So Turiyam, that's why Chaturtham Manyante, Upanishad says, it is only considered as fourth, not counted as fourth. Like if you enter into one room and there are three mirrors are there, you see three reflections and you are different from that reflection. So do you say that there are four people in this room? No. Only that reflections are there. Actually one person is there, that is me. But if I count 1, 2, 3 and 4, but actually all of them are nothing but you are there. Same way, this fourth is Atman, that is truth, that is reality, and this is called Turiya. Now this Turiya or Chaturtham, Brahman is Chaturtham or Atma is Chaturtham, it is explained in Mandukya Upanishad. A very beautiful verse is there, and I am tempted to read that. What is this Turiya? Turiya means Atma, but so beautifully that Upanishad talks about this Turiya Atma. He says, Nanta pragyam, na bahish pragyam, na uvayata pragyam, na prajnana ganam, na pragyam, na apragyam. This Atma Tattva is neither dreamer nor waker nor combination of both. It is not Jada, apragyam. Then what is this Turiya? Adrushtam, which cannot be seen. It never becomes object of perception. Adrushtam, avyavaharyam, untransactable. You cannot transact with Atma. You can transact with body, mind, but Atma is not vyavaharyam. You cannot transact, you cannot communicate, you cannot interact with Atma. So, avyavaharyam, agrahyam, incomprehensible. You cannot comprehend fully. Grahanam, you cannot grasp it fully. Alakshanam cannot be indicated. Alakshanam. Recently we studied Panchadashi, first chapter. In that, this point was discussed. That if Atman can be indicated, means it has got quality which can be indicated. So then how it is Nirvikalpa? How it is free from all properties? That point was very beautifully brought out there. So they say it is only for the sake of understanding. Actually it cannot be indicated. Because there is no property, no quality which can be pointed out. So alakshanam, achintyam. See, this is the description of Turiya. Turiya Atma is what? Can't be seen, can't be grasped, can't be indicated. Achintyam, unthinkable. You cannot think of its form. It is beyond mind. Mind cannot take shape of Atma Tattva or form of that Atma Tattva. Achintyam, Avyapadesham. It doesn't have any name. It is nameless. There is form, then you can call by name, but it doesn't have any form. Avyapadesham, Ekatma Pratyaya Saram. Beautiful. Ekatma Pratyaya Saram. It is the essence of one thought. And what is that thought? Yesterday I told you, Brahmakar thought. I am Atman, I am Brahman. If I meditate upon this thought only, then I can realize my true nature. So the gateway to Brahman is this one thought. In Upanishad, Kenopanishad is said, Pratibodha Viditam Matam. In each thought, Atman is present. Forget the object. Forget the quality of thought. Forget the nature of thought. Just see from where this thought is rising. You ignore the object of that thought. Forget the Vishaya. Don't flow with that Vishaya. Concentrate on the source of thought. Essence of thought is this Atma Tattva. Ekatma Pratyaya Saram. First ignore all worldly thought. Then think of only Atman. Then even that thought also is to be dropped. So that is Atman. That is Turiya. Avyapadeshyam, Ekatma Pratyaya Saram, Prapanchopashamam. Oh. Where there is no prapancha, no world, world cease to exist. World is merged in Atman. From standpoint of Atman, there is no world. Prapanchopashamam. Shantam Shivam Advaitam Chaturtham Manyante. This Atma Tattva is Shantam. There is no agitation, there is no disturbance in that. And all this is description of myself only. That is me. So this Turiyam is not something else. Atman is Turiyam. So where there is no disturbance of world, Prapanchopashamam, Shantam, Shivam, most auspicious. Shantam, Shivam, Advaitam, non-dual. Already we have seen. Free from all differences. Sajatiya, Vijhatiya, Swagatve. Shantam, Shivam, Advaitam, Chaturtham. Chaturtham is Turiya. Chaturtham Manyante. It is considered as fourth. Again, don't count it as fourth. Just to tell that it is free from all the states, that's why it is called Chaturtham. Chaturtham Manyante Sa Atma. This Chaturtha, this Turiya is Atma. And the last word is Savidneya. That should be known, that should be realized. That should be the goal of our life. So such a long mantra is there, which talks about this Turiya. Na anta pragyam, na bahish pragyam, na ubhayata pragyam, na prajnanaganam, na pragyam, na apragyam, adrushtam, avyavaharyam, agrahyam, alakshanam, achintam, avyapadeshyam, ekatma pratyasaram, prapanchoshavam, shantam, shivam, advaitam, chaturtham manyante, sa atma savidneya. We must by heart this verse. So, this Turiya word has come, that's why I brought this mantra into our discussion. So, Jnanagamyam Turiyam Rudhistham. Then, Atmarupam Hitatyena Jnatam. This Brahman should be realized as one's own self. Atmarupam, not Anatmarupam. See, when we listen to this Vedanta, and again and again that speaker talks about Brahman, Atma, he all the time uses that word. Atma is formless, Atma is attributeless, Atma is colorless. So what happens? We start imagining and we think that Atma is something different from me. It is some object which is away from me. I get all the information about Atma in the beginning. So, Anatma Rupena Jnatam. I create an idea about Atma, but I don't feel or I don't accept that this Atman is me, this Brahman is me. That speaker is talking about Brahman, that Brahman is Ananda Roop. Now the student says, so what? I am miserable. Let it be Ananda Roop. Let it be all pervading. I am only finite, limited entity. So in the beginning, he thinks that Brahman is not me. But of course, by constant listening, he develops faith in that existence of Brahman. So then he says, yes, Brahma Asti. Now I am convinced that Brahman is there. Brahma Asti. But teacher says, Hare, that Brahman is you. I am Atma Brahma. This Atma, this me, what that I you are experiencing, that is only Brahman. Brahman should be understood as Atman, as one's own self. When he realizes that Brahman is my own self, then that is called Aparoksha Jnana. Then there is no difference between Atma and Brahman. That is called Atma Rupami Tadyena Jnata. The thing is, we are born with the notion of, the finitude. I am finite. And when I listen to these Vedantic talks where the speaker says that you are infinite, you are all pervading, so we can't digest that. And we can't understand how can I. But by constant listening, constant reflection, slowly I accept that yes, I cannot be this body only. And when this realization takes place, then he says, not only Brahma Asti, now he says Brahma Asmi. Brahma Asti is Paroksha Jnana. And Brahma Asmi is direct knowledge. Immediate, Gurudev used to say. No medium is required. There is no gap between Brahman and me. No difference. So it's called Aparoksha. So Atma Rupam Hitatyena Jnatam. Of course, in the beginning, Anatma Rupena we understand it. But slowly as we practice, then that Brahman becomes very close to us. And then finally we come to know, oh, that is me only. By Shruti, Yukti, Anubhuti, by logical analysis, by statements of Upanishad, I am convinced, yes, I am that Brahman. So, Atma Rupem Hitadyena Jnatam. That's why in the Upanishad it is said, Asti Ityeva Upalabdhavya. First, we must have faith in the existence of Brahman. Let it be other than you. Let it be as an object. You accept it. But accept it. Have faith. Then as you move further, you will come to know that it is not different from Atma. Okay. And then he says, what is the result of this realization? After all, why all this one must do? Sodhvana paramapnoti satyam. He says, by realization what will happen? That seeker crosses over samsara. And now what is samsara? What is this world? World means disturbance. World means problems. Synonym of world is what? Where a lot of difficulties are there, problems are there, one after other. This samsara is compared with ocean, and in ocean waves continuously they come. Like now also this pandemic, corona, waves are coming and going. One wave, second wave, third. Samsara, something or other will keep on happening. One person wanted to swim in the ocean, but he was sitting there at the seashore. Other person asked, why are you not jumping and start swimming? He said, no, let all the waves become quiet, then only I will jump. Now it will never happen. In the waves only we have to jump and swim and enjoy. This world is also like that. There is one Murphy's law. Very nicely it is said that if everything is going nice and good, then that law says that there must be something wrong somewhere. Everything cannot go, fine. So nature of this world is one problem comes, that is solved, another. And we cannot predict which problem, which difficulty, which situation comes. It is most unpredictable, uncertain. They say there is one certain thing in this world, that nothing is certain. So this is samsara. And the person who is suffering in this samsara is called samsari. All the time sorry, he is not happy. So now how can I cross over this samsara? This is by this Brahma Jnana. One person said that I give education, I impart education to people. Other person asked, which kind of education you impart? He said, liberal education. What do you mean by liberal education? He said, in its true sense, it frees a man, it makes man free from the prison house of class, race, time, family, nation, and finally, even his body. So, liberal education is this, Atma-Jnana, which liberates us from the prison house of all these things. Mukti. Bhavati bhavarnava tarane nauka. This is the boat. Sarvam jnanaplavenaiva vrujinam santarishyasi. Bhagavad Gita says, if you board this boat of knowledge, it will take you to another shore of this samsara. So, Sodvana, Advana means samsara. Param apnoti. That person goes beyond this samsara. And samsara means, as I said, all kinds of negativity, sorrow, distress, pairs of opposite, conflicts, false notions. All this make this samsara. Doership, enjoyership, different types of identities, that is all nothing but samsara. But by Brahma Jnana, we go beyond this ocean of this samsara, Bhavasagar. And once we cross this ocean or this samsara, then interesting thing happens. From that shore, when we look back, then we will come to know that there was no samsara. It was all my false notions. Bhavasagar sab sukh gayo hai. It was never there. It was my wrong identification, wrong understanding. Unnecessarily I was giving so much reality to it. So this is the realization. There was no bandhan. There was no samsara. Like if I think that mirage exists, Mruga Marichika, in that desert we see water. But when we go near to that, then we come to know that there is no water. It was just an illusion. Same way, that master who realizes this truth, he says, Arey, there was no samsara, it was my misunderstanding. So this is called param apnoti, sodvana param apnoti. And he said, satyam, certainly he will understand it, he will go beyond. And one more thing Guruji has pointed out in his commentary. He says that we have to put forth effort. For me, somebody cannot, help me. Means, if Guru is enlightened, I cannot be enlightened. I will have to do my sadhana. Generally, it happens in rituals and all that. On my behalf, somebody can perform that puja. In court and all that also, on my behalf, somebody will make, that present. But here, in this Atma-Jnana, I have to know my true nature. For me, other person cannot do anything. He is helpless. So therefore, this self-knowledge is understood only by our own effort. And one who does that, he crosses over this ocean. Now, the last verse. And in this last verse, the description of vision of a master has been given. That after realization, what happens? People are very curious about it. okay, if I get this realization, what will be the phalam, what will be the result? What will I get? Tomorrow we will discuss this verse where it is said, Brahmagasya tu brahmaiva sarvam nasti moho bhayam naiva dukkham tasya swanandamagnam hi chittam ekameva dvitiyam hi brahma. The knower of Brahman, that is called Brahmagya. Like Sarvagya means all knowing. Alpagya, Alpam Janati, Alpagya. Same way Brahmagya. One who knows Brahman, one who realizes Brahman, for him everything becomes Brahman. Brahmaiva sarvam. Wherever he sees Brahman only. Yatra yatra mano yati tatra tatra samadhaya. Wherever his mind go, there he can do meditation, samadhi. He will not see name and form and color and qualities and properties and flaws and other worldly things. He penetrates all of them and straight away he sees the essence, the truth. Sarvam khalu idam brahma, like Tulsidas ji says, Siya Ramamaya sab jagajani. So Brahmagyasya tu brahmaiva sarvam. His drushti is changed. His vision is changed. And then nasti moha bhaya naiva dukkham. What a nice result of this knowledge. There won't be any delusion, moha. Fear. There is no fear. Earlier that seeker was living in the fear. Once a young seeker, he went to a teacher and he said, I am always afraid. So that young, that seeker was always fearful. So teacher beautifully said, he says, nothing in life has to be feared, only to be understood. In this life, nothing is to be feared, only it is to be understood. Exactly same thing happened with this realized master. He understood the fact, the truth, and therefore he is free from fear. Fear is born out of ignorance. Dvitiyat vaya bhayam bhavati, it is said. Because of duality, because of distinctions, the fear comes. Tomorrow we will discuss that. Once that knowledge takes place, then there is no fear of abhayam. Yajnavalkya Rishi said to Janak Maharaj, now you are fearless Brahman. You are well established in that Brahman. Now there is nothing to be feared. So no bhayam, naiva dukkham. So one side of story is all these negativity thoughts, negativity will go away. And positively what will I get? Tasya swanandamagnam hi chittam. Aha, he always enjoys the bliss of Brahman. He is never sorrowful, never depressed or dejected. Positively he is all the time happy. Swanandamagnam. That's why they say Atyant dukkhasya atyantika nivrutti and paramananda prapti. This is the goal of this Brahmajnana. Tomorrow we will discuss this beautiful verse and we will conclude this text. He Shiva Shankara Namami Shankara. He Shiva Shankara Namami Shankara. Shiva Shankara Shambho. Shiva Shankara Shambho. He Girijapati Bhavani Shankara. He Girijapati Bhavani Shankara. Shiva Shankara Shambho. शंभो शिव शंकर शंभो शिव शंकर शंभो शिव शंकर शंभो हे शिव शंकर नमामि शंकर हे शिव शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो हे गिरिजापति भवानी शंकर हे गिरिजापति भवानी शंकर नमामि शंकर भवानी शंकर हे गिरिजापति भवानी शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो शिव शंकर शंभो शिव शंकर शंभो शिव शंकर शंभो हे शिव शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति शांति शांति।